Hello students. So today's class we will be studying about nervous system reflexes. First we need to understand the concept of reflex. What is a reflex? A reflex is a basic unit of integrated neural activity. It is a mechanism by which a sensory impulse is automatically converted into a motor effect through involvement of central nervous system. तो ये डेफिनेशन से हम क्या समझ सकते हैं कि जब सेंसरी इम्पल्सेस जनरेट होकर सेंट्रल नर्वस सिस्टम की तरफ जाता है तो खुद से ही मोटर इफेक्ट में कन्वर्ट होना, उसका मोटर इफेक्ट में कन्वर्ट होना, जिसके वजह से न्यूरल एक्टिविटी दिखाई देती है. आई रिपीट, रिफ्लेक्सेस क्या है? इट इज अ मैकेनिज्म बाय विच सेंसरी इम्पल्सेस is automatically converted into motor effect, right, through involvement of central nervous system. So now let us understand what is reflex arc. When we have studied about muscle contraction, response of our body towards any stimuli, there was a mention of reflex arc, right? You remember? We will again see what it is. It is an arc consisting of the receptor efferent fibers, the center, the efferent nerve fibers, and the effector organs, that is muscle or glands. So it is an arc. You can see this arc that is consisting of what all things? First is the receptor, right? Efferent fibers, the center, nerve fibers, and the effector organs, that is the muscle, or it can be a gland. Okay, so this is full that forms a reflex arc. Now let us understand that when we say center, what does it mean? Center means the part of central nervous system where the efferent nerve fibers synapse with the efferent nerve fibers. It could be either directly or via an interneuron. Now, where are the centers located? The centers are located either in the brain or the spinal cord. Let's now understand about the classification of reflexes. Classification of reflexes first based on inborn or acquired. In this, the first one is unconditioned reflex or inborn reflex. इसे हम natural reflex भी कहते हैं. That means it is present since the time of birth. That is why we are saying it's a inborn reflex. For example, if you keep a drop of honey in the mouth of a newborn baby for the first time. Now we know that the baby for the first time would not know the taste of honey, but still you will see salivation in the mouth of the newborn. This clearly shows an inborn reflex towards any food. Next is conditioned reflex or acquired reflex. Conditioned or acquired reflex are reflexes developed after training or conditioning. So this is not from birth. Okay. For example, we have been now conditioned that if you tell that a sweet is going to be served in front of me, a dessert, then that would create salivation in my mouth. The hearing itself may create salivation in my mouth. So then we'll say it is a conditioned reflex. Let us see. So now next classification of reflexes It can be done depending upon the situation of the center. We have already understood the concept of center. Center means that part of the central nervous system where afferent nerve fibers join with the efferent nerve fibers. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर situation of the center, if it is spinal reflex, reflexes having their center in the spinal cord are called spinal reflexes. Then you have medullary reflexes. Medullary reflexes are the reflexes which have the center in medulla oblongata. Next is midbrain reflexes. Midbrain reflexes are reflexes which have center in the midbrain. Cortical reflexes are reflexes that have center in the cerebral cortex. And last you have cerebellar reflexes. Cerebellar reflexes are the reflexes which have the center in the cerebellum. Okay. Now let us see classification of reflexes depending on number of synapses. First is monosynaptic reflex. The first one that you are seeing is a monosynaptic reflex. These are reflexes having only one synapse in the reflex arc. Okay, तो हमने पहले जो diagram देखा reflex arc, we have seen there. If there is only one synapse, then it's called monosynaptic reflex. And as I mentioned there, the best example for it is the stretch reflex, because there only one synapse is involved. So what happens in the stretch reflex, students? The stretching of the muscle stimulates the receptor, which is the muscle spindle. Muscle spindles are what? These are receptors present in the muscle. And when they get stimulated, they send an action potential that travels through the afferent nerve to the center. Then the center in the stretch reflex is the spinal cord. So what would happen? The impulse is processed and sent through the efferent nerve back to the muscle, and then the muscle contracts. Okay. So the stretch reflex is a simple way to understand. Only one synapse is involved, but through that synapse itself the message is done. And how it is? We have seen that in stretch reflex what happens when the muscles are stretched. Okay, I want to pick up something, the muscles are stretched, then it will stimulate the receptor, which is the muscle spindle. And then when that is stimulated, it sends an action potential. It travels through the afferent nerve to the center, and center in the stretch reflex is the spinal cord, where impulse is processed and sent back through the efferent nerve. And this will give a hint to the muscles now that they have to contract. Okay. Next is polysynaptic reflexes. Polysynaptic reflexes, what happens? Reflexes having more than one synapse. The word itself is making it clear. No? More than one synapse. When we say polysynaptic reflexes, more than one synapse in the reflex arc, they are called polysynaptic reflexes. One example is flexor reflexes. Withdrawal reflexes are polysynaptic reflexes. Whenever there is a withdrawal reflex, that is a clear hint of polysynaptic reflex. Now, till now we have seen classification of reflexes depending on whether it is inborn or acquired. Then we saw whether based on the situation of the center. Then we saw based on the number of synapse, right? Now let us see clinical classification. Clinical classification of reflexes can be done in this way. The first one is superficial reflexes. Superficial reflexes are reflexes which are elicited from the surface of the body. Example, corneal reflex. You know, that is an example for us to understand the superficial reflex. Next is deep reflexes. Deep reflexes are elicited from deeper structures. Example, tendon. These reflexes are otherwise known as tendon reflex. For example, biceps jerk, tricep jerks, which you have learnt in physical examination. Those reflexes are elicited and they are called deep reflexes. Third is the visceral reflex. Visceral reflexes are the reflexes that arise from pupil and visceral organs. Okay. For example, pupillary reflexes, we can see that the size of the pupil is altered. Then other example is carotid sinus reflex, in which pressure over carotid sinus in neck due to tight collar can decrease the heart rate and blood pressure. This is an example of a visceral reflex. Now, besides all this, when we talk about clinical classification, one of the noticeable one is a pathological reflex. Pathological reflex में क्या होता है? We can see pathological reflexes are elicited only when there is some pathology. We will see one of the most important ones, which is called Babinski's sign. This abnormal plantar reflex is called Babinski's sign, or it is also called Babinski's phenomena. Okay? So normal plantar reflex, that means what would happen? A gentle scratch over the outer edge of the sole of the foot causes plantar flexion and adduction of the toes, right? But in Babinski's sign, what you see is dorsiflexion of great toe and fanning of the other toes. You can see here, this image makes it very clear. When you use a stimulus, a gentle scratch over the outer edge of the sole, यहाँ पर आप outer edge of the sole पे जब आप stimulus देते हो, तो आप यहाँ पर देख सकते हो क्या हो रहा है, dorsiflexion, ये जो ग्रेट टो है उसका डॉर्सिफ्लेक्शन है, और बाकी भी टोज को देखो बच्चों, इट इज शोइंग फैनिंग, राइट? फैन जैसे खुल गया एकदम. दिस Babinski sign is present in upper motor neuron lesion, and physiological conditions when Babinski's sign is present are infancy and when a person is in deep sleep. Okay, and now it's a question why it is present in infants, because non-myelination of the pyramidal tracts. So that is one of the pathological reflexes. Another pathological reflex is clonus. It is a series of rapid and repeated involuntary jerky movements that would occur eliciting a deep reflex. Okay, so when you are eliciting a deep reflex, for example, like last time we saw bicep jerks, tricep jerks, जब हम दे रहे हैं, it occurs that there is a series of rapid and repeated involuntary jerky movements that would be seen. Pen. So besides this, it occurs in upper motor neuron lesion. When a deep reflex is elicited in a normal person, the contractions of a muscle or group of muscles are smooth. But when there is a lesion, clonus occurs. That means this rapid and repeated involuntary jerky movements are seen. It could be because of hypertonicity of the muscle, or it could be because of exaggeration of deep reflexes. Okay, now after this, once we have understood all the reflexes, we need to know the clinical correlation. So as we have seen about motor neuron lesion, the clinical correlation that is important to know is reflexes in motor neuron lesion. One is upper motor neuron lesion and the second is lower motor neuron lesion. Upper motor neuron lesion, during upper motor neuron lesion, all the superficial reflexes are lost. Okay, Deep reflexes are exaggerated. As we saw Babinski's sign. तो नॉर्मल जो है आपके सुपरफिशियल रिफ्लेक्सेस हैं वो नहीं दिखाई देंगे, पर जो डीप रिफ्लेक्सेस हैं वो बहुत ज़्यादा दिखाई देंगे. लोअर मोटर न्यूरॉन लीजन्स में क्या है? ड्यूरिंग लोअर मोटर लीजन्स ऑल द सुपरफिशियल एंड डीप रिफ्लेक्सेस आर लॉस्ट. Okay, so this is about the clinical correlation. Now, before we end this topic of reflexes today, it is good to review on one important aspect, that is the concept of upper motor neuron and the concept of lower motor neuron. The pathway from the cortex to the muscle involves at least two neurons. The first of these is located in the cerebral cortex. Its axon terminates in the spinal cord or on motor cranial nerve nuclei in the brainstem. Okay. So now what has to be understood, as you see here, first we will see the labeling. This is the upper motor neuron example, and here you are seeing is the lower motor neuron example. Now when we talk about physiological and a clinical point of view, these neurons is referred to as upper motor neuron, these ones. ठीक है, जो यहाँ पर है, जो cerebral cortex के यहाँ पर सब located है, we call them as the upper motor neuron. The second neuron is located in the anterior gray column of the spinal cord. Now I don't have to worry, you all have already studied, so you know this is the gray column and this is the anterior part. तो यहाँ पे जो neurons हैं, that are the ones that are located here. Okay, the second neuron is located in the anterior gray column of the spinal cord and sends out an axon that travels through the peripheral nerve to innervate the muscle. The neurons are referred to as, tell students, ये क्या होगा? ये है lower motor neurons. Okay, for the present purpose, we are not talking about interneurons and present in the pathway. Mainly what we will talk about is the upper motor neuron control and regulates the activity of the lower motor neuron. So in this particular video lecture, we have understood first the concept of reflexes. Reflex क्या है? एक basic unit of integrated neural activity है. Why we call it integrated neural activity? क्योंकि इसमें सिग्नल का सेंसरी इम्पल्सेस का जाना और ब्रेन में उसको प्रोसेस होकर वापस मोटर इफेक्ट के उसमें आना, दोनों इन्वॉल्व है. ठीक है. देन वी हैड सीन द कंसेप्ट ऑफ रिफ्लेक्स आर्क. रिफ्लेक्स आर्क में क्या क्या शामिल है हमने देखा. फिर हमने क्लासिफिकेशंस देखा, क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ रिफ्लेक्सेस देखे. कुछ पैदाइशी होते हैं, कुछ एक्वायर्ड होते हैं. फिर सेंटर कहाँ पर है उसके बेसिस पे हमने देखा स्पाइनल, मेडुलरी, मिड ब्रेन, कॉर्टिकल एंड सेरेब्रल रिफ्लेक्सेस होते हैं. सेंटर को हम दोबारा रिवाइज करेंगे. सेंटर जब हम कहते हैं सेंट्रल नर्वस सिस्टम पे, तो वो center means the part of central nervous system where the efferent nerve fiber synapse with the efferent nerve fiber. Okay, and then depending upon the number of synapse we saw, it can be monosynaptic or polysynaptic. And then students, we also saw the different clinical reflexes based on clinical classification. We have seen, हमने खास करके पैथोलॉजिकल रिफ्लेक्सेस देखे जिसमें Babinski's रिफ्लेक्स देखा, क्लोनस देखा. देन वी सॉ अबाउट द क्लिनिकल कोरिलेशन ऑफ हाउ अपर मोटर न्यूरॉन लीजन एंड लोअर मोटर neuron lesion is manifested. And in this last slide we have reviewed on the concept of upper motor neuron and lower motor neuron. So thank you students.